So, this just happened. I want to share my experience of discovering that 2 of my tracks were infringed, a violation that is deeply distressing and disappointing. After gathering evidence, doing some research, and filing a whole bunch of DMCA forms, I have enough. I'm making this video to call out on you, Almighty Alice, and demonstrate and talk to you about copyright infringement is both unacceptable and legally risky. I want to provide you a clear message about the seriousness of this issue, and I'm going to respond to your inappropriate replies that you sent to me. I am not okay with this. Let's go back a couple of months earlier this year. It first started on July 1st, 2025 on BandLabs. As you commented down below after the release of Rave of the Mountaineers, you asked me if you could be able to use my track, edit it, modify it, and add vocals to it, which I declined your request. Later on August 19, 2025, after when I released the instrumental version of that song, and you asked me again on August 19, 2025. Before I had the chance to decline your permission, I did not know that you just proceeded to add vocals to the track without my knowledge or consent. You downloaded a copy of my track, you kept it within your files on your device for archiving purposes, and you would later modify it and do whatever, and you put it within Ratatan. I also noticed that you uploaded this alongside with gameplay footage, which I found on your Reddit page 3 months later in November. Not only that you infringed that song, but I also found out that you also infringed House of the Thorn and Raging Bull, the instrumental version. And you did the same thing as Rave of the Mountaineers. And within that same month, you also uploaded it on Reddit. I wouldn't really know that you actually did this if it weren't for someone notifying me about this in the first place, which I really thank them for my behalf for bringing this up. After confronting this issue with you on Reddit, you replied to me that I made you lose your rights to add vocals, and you have to archive this. Upon this response, I am very happy to inform you that you are actually violating a United States copyright law, Section 501A. According to the United States Copyright Office, Section 501A states, anyone who violates any of the exclusive rights of the copyright owner as provided by Sections 106 through 122, or the author as provided in Section 106A, the right to reproduce the work in copies or phono records, or who imports copies or phono records into the United States in violation of Section 602 is an infringer of the copyright or right of the author, as the case may be. In this case, you violated Sections 106.1 and 106.2 alongside with 501. Let me dive into Section 106, the right of certain authors to attribute and their integrity. This means that the copyright owner, which is me, have the exclusive right to do or to authorize reproduction of the musical works. So that means that I, the copyright owner, have the right to make copies or phono records of my copyrighted works. As you can see here, I also have the right to create adaptations or transformations based on the original recording. For example, I have the right to create extended mixes. I have the right to make maximum mixes. I also have the right to make instrumental mixes and do VIP and so on. This would later take us up to Section 501, infringement of copyright. The definition of infringement is anyone who violates the exclusive right and rights of the copyright owner or the moral rights of the authors is considered an infringer. The term anyone is basically everyone. It does not matter one's ranking, it does not matter about their position or who they are as a whole. No one and everyone is not immune to this copyright law. So how does these two sections come to play with your actions? I denied your permission, I denied your request when you asked me on those 2 days. This refusal means that you have no authorization to exercise any of those rights. However, you did that anyway by editing my phonorecords of Rave of the Mountaineers and House of the Thorn and Raging Bull, for both of them are instrumental mixes. You have derived them by altering the original phonographic structure, those two songs that I recorded, by modifying them and adding vocals. You also performed unauthorized reproduction by making a copy of the track in order to modify it. Since you are keeping archived copies of my tracks within your device, you have violated my reproduction rights under the copyright law. Together, this makes you absolutely liable under Section 501. Without authorization, any actions of the rights stated in 106 were infringed. I am actually at a loss of words. I have no other clue what else to say about this, because not only I am scared because this is happening, I also feel violated and disrespected, which leads to my final statement. I, Neon Feathers 22, am the copyright owner of the sound recordings Rave of the Mountaineers and House of the Thorn and Raging Bull under the United States Copyright Law, Section 17, Sections 106 and 501. I hold the exclusive rights to reproduce and distribute these works. While you have removed the public copies, I have been informed that you continue to archive these unauthorized versions. I hereby demand that you delete all archived copies immediately, as retaining them without permission constitutes infringement. This request is made to protect my rights and ensure compliance with the copyright law. Failing to comply this, I will file a lawsuit regarding this infringement, which will result in damages, attorney fees, and an injunctive relief under the United States Copyright Law Sections 502 to 505. My preference is to resolve this issue privately and constructively with you. I really don't want to resort to perform formal legal action. To that end, I want you to contact me directly either on BandLab or on Discord if you have a Discord account. I want you to reach to me as soon as possible so that we can reach an agreement and move forward on this. I will not respond to you if you comment down on this video. I will not accept that. Otherwise, I really hope you understand how urgent and how important the situation is. And I really do hope after when we come to an agreement, you won't do this ever again in the near future. Not only you are setting the author of the copyright work at risk, you are also setting yourself at a much more bigger risk at your end. I highly look forward to hear from you soon.